you see some of the sound bites, you read quotes from the likes of, Barack Obama, Ronald Reagan, Warren Buffett, Jack Lew. Tell me why they're all wrong.
Well, if we defaulted, if we didn't make the interest payments, then those terrible and bad things would happen. However, just because Congress doesn't raise the debt ceiling does not mean we need to default. The government will have plenty of money to pay the interest on the debt. It just won't have plenty of money to pay for everything it likes. It'll have about 3/4 of the cash that it needs to do business. The Treasury Secretary says he can't set priorities. Well, he's the nation's chief financial officer. And I know darn well I could set those priorities, and any good financial person could, and it's his job to do so. And if he doesn't have the financial acumen to deal with that kind of eventuality, then he really needs to move over for someone that can.
But Peter, when you talk about dollars and cents, and for
Watch how he
math
shortens
is done
the
by my
president's
colleague,
name.
Christine Roman, Sue. This is her
Look at
bread
his-
and butter, and this is what she says. In a given month, we take in
President
$277
Obama.
billion in tax receipts and spend $452
Just
billion
disrespecting
to
the
refinance
president.
the difference. She says the math doesn't work. So really, my question is, when we start defaulting on bills and passing out IOUs, I think I know the answer, but I'm going to ask the question. What does that do to confidence when it comes to the U.S. economy?
The confidence in the economy would be shaken. There's no two ways about it. Now, be clear. We would pay the interest on the debt. We would not default on the debt. There's a difference between not defaulting on the debt and being able to pay for everything you want to pay for. Think of it as a 20% pay cut. That's what it comes down to. I have my numbers. Christine has hers. I get mine from the Joint Economic Committee. Now, it's about 20%. Now, think of the state of California. It went through a very similar period where it issued scrip. I'm not advocating that. I think if we look longer term, the bipartisan or the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office indicates that if we stay on the path that we're on of keep raising these debt ceilings without modifying the entitlements programs, that we will be in very serious financial trouble by the end of the term of the next president. Very, very serious. And so it may be that this is what is necessary to get the two sides to sit down and negotiate. Mr. Obama is going to have to be less ambitious
Mr.
about
Obama.
health care. I'm not an
Shorten his
advocate of
name.
junking his program.
Didn't even call him
Republicans are
president.
going to have to get more realistic about healthcare
Guarantee
and
you
recognize
he's a
that we
Republican.
don't have the most marvelous
Guarantee
system
you.
on the planet.
20%
And it
cut in
needs
someone's
reforming, and that includes reforming how the government spends money.
in our pay.
And we're gonna have
Come
to talk
on,
about
who
something
you
Mr.
gonna
Obama
knock
doesn't
off?
like to talk about.
Who you gonna
If we
stop
don't
giving
raise
money
the
to?
retirement age, Social Security becomes insolvent, along with the country, mid-next decade.
Okay. Peter Morici, I appreciate it. I appreciate hearing